Welcome, everyone, to Navigating Financial Aid. I am here with Chance Welch, the best person to talk about navigating sometimes a very complicated subject here at the New York Film Academy. We've had a blast making this episode. What you all are doing here is really special.
Thank you.
We were talking off screen prior to filming this, and I think we should just start off with that. So can you explain to the audience what you were telling me about how, with undergrad and what the options are? Because, here there's undergrad and there's graduate as well. Right. And what is financial aid look like for those two windows?
Absolutely. So here at New York Film Academy, we offer undergrad programs like the one-year certificate, the Associates of Fine Arts, and Bachelors of Arts and Bachelor of Fine Arts programs, as well as graduate programs like the Master of Arts and Masters of Fine Arts. Now, what does that look like from a financial aid standpoint? Well, for the undergrad programs, you have the possibility of receiving Pell Grants, which is free money from the government. Or you can also receive SEOG grants, which is a supplemental grant, as well as state grants if you're in an applicable state. But when you're in the graduate program, unfortunately, it's going to be loans only. But the trade-off is you have more of a borrowing eligibility from that standpoint than you are with the undergrad program.
Awesome. I appreciate that.
Yeah,
that was really super interesting. So
yes.
Once, someone's out here, they're watching this episode, what's the first piece of advice you can get them?
Absolutely.
The money part's always like the most interesting, challenging, whatever you want to call it. So what's your advice to them?
So from a general perspective, it's apply for everything. From a federal student aid perspective, it's apply for the free application for federal student aid, or FAFSA. Just know that, if you're a dependent student under a certain age, you're going to have to provide your information and your parents as well. Now, if you're in a graduate program, it's just going to be your info, but it all starts with the FAFSA.
Okay. Yeah. So get on, and then you're always here. Right?
I'm always here. Yeah.
24/7. That's a hotline to him. No, but I'm just saying, it's like you all. I mean, they are as approachable. Yes. I don't want to be like. You have this open door policy, right?
We pride ourselves on having that open door policy where people can stop by, and talk to us about, budgets, or if they qualify for a certain type of aid without having to make an appointment. You can also reach out to us by email at financialaid@nyfa.edu. You can also schedule a Zoom meeting with us as well.
Awesome. Now, with all your amazing locations, we're here in LA right now, but you got New York, you have Miami, you have international, international locations in Australia and Italy. How does financial work? How do you explain that maybe on a macro level to the audience? Is it dependent on the location?
Well, so for the domestic campuses here in the U.S., so that's LA, that's New York, that's Miami. The long-term programs that we have qualify for federal student aid.
All right. Yeah. All right. What's the most common question with the open door policy?
Yes.
People coming and going. The hotline to Chance. What is it? What's the most popular question you get?
Well, we have a lot of students who are already enrolled, and let's say we've already packaged their aid for 2 semesters, and the 3rd semester is rolling around, and they want to know, hey, am I still qualified? Does the financial aid cover me for all semesters? Just know that the FAFSA and renewing your federal student aid is an annual process where you'll just need to make sure that you're doing the latest FAFSA for each year, especially if you're in a long-term, like a BFA program that might have 8 or 9 semesters. You're going to be going through that aid packaging process for, we're talking about 3 or 4 go-rounds.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's great intel. What is the question you wish no one asked you, but you wish they would? Do you have one?
Absolutely. So when it comes to kind of underutilized resources, I feel like more performing arts students should look into outside scholarships, offered, for their particular field. So let's say if you're a photography student, there are lots of resources for those working in that field to try to get a scholarship to learn more about that. Or if you're in, let's say, musical theater or acting, There are lots of scholarships out there, and if you need help, you can always come to us.
That is, I've never thought or,
Yeah.
really in that perspective on like the super, getting narrow, right? So if
Absolutely.
you know this is what you want to do in this
Yep.
very specific, piece of the business, that there might be some, scholarships
Yeah.
and grants out
Like
there.
I said,
That's super.
apply
yeah.
for everything.
Yeah.
Like what's the harm? Apply for federal student aid, institutional aid from us, as well as those outside scholarships.
Awesome. Well, listen,
All
we
right.
really appreciate you taking a little time with us.
All
This
right,
is
Alex.
awesome. Yeah, thanks a lot. All right.
All right.
Cheers, everyone.
Cheers.